Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having us here.
Yeah. You know, I was joking off camera that I would have just had you guys keep going. So thank you for those 3 songs. Speaking of which, you guys are so much more than Possum Kingdom. And, I mean, is it refreshing to put out this record? I know that you reconstructed some older songs, did some newer songs, totally crushed the Blondie cover. Is it refreshing that this album's been received so well?
I would say surprising is how I would describe it. I'm surprised every time we put out a record and people want to hear it. So
Yeah.
it's a good surprise. But yeah, it's I appreciate you saying that. But yeah, we've you know, we never wanted to be the Possum Kingdom band and that one-trick pony, and fought the urge to rewrite, not the urge, but the pressure to rewrite that song over and over again. And so we just kept pushing the envelope. And this record, I think we've pretty much just got rid of the envelope.
Destroyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to kind of just strip down the songs, but you like totally reconfigured these songs.
Yeah. It's been a long process. We have a music festival called Dia de los Toadies that we do every year in Texas, and it's a really kick-ass fun music festival. And this is the eighth year, the 8th one in September of this year. And anyway, we started doing, I guess it was year 2 or 3, we started doing a kind of a chill night, a first night for a stripped down, you know, smaller crowd, and we wanted it to be more of a, I don't know, a fireside type chill out thing. And started off with just acoustic guitars and kind of morphed into this weird arrangement thing, and it just got more elaborate and crazier every year until we decided it'd be a good idea to do this in the studio where we can just really go at it. So that's what we did.
Yeah, because I mean, what you guys did today, as amazing as it is, it's totally
Oh,
different.
thank you.
It sounds totally different on the album. It's not like, you know, the Toadies Unplugged by any stretch of the imagination.
When we started, we wanted to see how far we could go from
Yeah.
the old school rock setup that we had, and that's kind of where we ended up.
Yeah.
When you guys look at the 90s, I mean, this was like the soundtrack to my life, that whole period. And by the way, I don't know if it was like in your press release or something like, Possum Kingdom was the best song in 1994. I was like, it was the best song of the 90s. Can we just stop right there? But when you guys look back, especially we live in like a Taylor Swift kind of world now. So, you know, and it seems like it's Dave Grohl and it's Black Keys and it's Jack White, and then people just forget about rock, period. So what do you guys, I guess, make of the industry now in terms of that rock genre? And just, was alt rock in the 90s like a golden age of rock that I feel it was? I mean, you guys were in it, so it's
It was definitely a transformative time, I guess, for the whole genre. I mean, it was so weird when we it was great to hear your song on the radio because you know you're doing well, but then it's sandwiched in between Foghat and Peter Frampton, and you're like, what the hell are we doing?
Right. Or it's on Z100 and it's sandwiched between Bon Jovi and, you know, and some other guy.
So that was the 90s for me. It was like we'd, you know, roll into a town and try to tune in the local station to see if we could hear your song, and it was just really strange. But you know, I kind of smell that coming down the pike again. There's going to be another blow up of some other kind of genre that comes, and because everybody gets too complacent and too easy and all the same crap over and over again, and somebody's going to come blow it up.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't think anyone saw, after this whole alt-rock invasion in the 90s, for us to go out in the decade with Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
And Limp Bizkit as well. There was that end of it too, which was...
Well, I wasn't going to even go in that direction.
That's what I remember from that time, is like all the aggro, dude rock.
The corn, you know.
The Corn.
I'm saying the corn. But
It is the Corn.
it's just corn. I was going to give another example.
The Corn
and then I was
issue.
like, I'm just going to stop at the corn.
You said enough.
But yeah, it is interesting. I guess it just feels like ages, like with the Biebers of the world and Taylor Swift and you know, One Direction. It just feels like forever. But the industry usually goes in waves. But the industry is totally different. So like no one really knows. Like I mean, I tell everyone like there is amazing rock music out there.
Yeah.
But you just have to look for it.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's a lot of it out there. Really good stuff. And I look at I don't know, the internet and everything right now as the same way that I looked at radio in the late 80s, early 90s, because mainstream radio, major stations would have actual program directors that directed their programs, and they would pick music and play it, and we would go, we released a record, and it was somebody, a guy in Tampa. He decided he wanted to play the record, so he played the whole frickin' record, and we'd go there and play for, I don't know, 6,000 or 7,000 people, and then come home and play to nobody because nobody's playing the record. And then that guy got PD of the year, and then it kind of caught on, but now the radio is just kind of this corporate thing that just keeps playing all the stuff you were just talking about, but so people have to go elsewhere to find it, and people are still used to listening to radio, but.
And not to say it's all bad, because it's not.
No, it's just mostly bad.
It's just, yeah. I mean, there's a few diamonds in the rough, but it really is just one genre, period.
Yeah.
2 last questions. Well, that's an oxymoron, isn't it? 2 last questions.
Both the last question.
And they're not even connected.
Okay.
One is you guys have been on the road for ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and I know that you have a couple of more dates left on this tour. What does 2016 look like?
Who knows? I mean, the plan right now is to do a new record, and because we'd like to do those, and there really is no firm plan, but I'm really excited about it because the beauty of this last record we did, Heretics, is we kind of just took all the constraints off of what the band needs to sound like or what limitations with instruments or whatnot. It seems like every record we've done, we've kind of tore down another wall, like I mentioned earlier. Yeah. And so this one, I'm just really looking forward to doing a record where it's no holds barred. We can do acoustic guitar, mandolin, or electric guitar, or whatever, and then go on tour and see what that looks like.
Cool.
I'm predicting a lot more gear.
Just lastly, Blondie. Of all the songs for you guys to cover on a record, why that one?
Well, I've got a 12-year-old daughter, and she's into music, and she sings, and she's in a band, and does all that cool stuff. And I guess just from the moment I knew I was going to have a girl to, for the duration of her life, I've always been listening to, more tuned into female vocalists and what they're saying and what's going on in their heads and whatnot. And so I was in the car with her, my daughter, and just flipping around the radio, and that song came on, and I had never paid attention to the lyrics because it's just, to me, it's just it's a fun song, Right. But I'm listening to the lyrics, and we were both it was over, we was turning her up, and we were just talking about it, how the lyrics sounded so desperate, if you take them out of context. And so I went home, and she sat with me, and we just kind of banged around guitar and worked on an arrangement, and I emailed to the guys. So that's how that happened.
Awesome. Your daughter sounds totally cool.
She's pretty cool.
So much cooler than I am, right present day. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.